On the night of October 4th, 2025, something extraordinary happened over Mars, and almost no one on Earth was allowed to see it. The interstellar object 3I Atlas, traveling through our solar system at over 60 km/s, made its closest approach to the red planet. Telescopes from NASA, ESA, and private observatories were ready to capture every frame. But then, without warning, every major NASA public feed went dark. Data portals froze, image archives vanished, official statements stopped. The timing was uncanny, a complete communication blackout during what may have been the most important interstellar flyby in human history. Yet before the silence descended, fragments of data slipped through. A handful of leaked images from a Mars orbiter showing something that defied explanation. An object glowing faintly green, moving faster than any comet ever recorded, with no visible tail, no dust plume, and a geometry that seemed almost deliberate. What exactly was NASA trying to hide? Just 48 hours before the shutdown, a sequence of raw images began circulating on encrypted astronomy networks. They came from the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, showing a thin streak cutting diagonally across the Martian sky. To the untrained eye, it looked like a simple cosmic ray artifact. But when researchers overlaid the frames and measured the angle, it became clear the object was real. Its trajectory matched perfectly with the projected orbit of 3I Atlas during its flyby. What stunned everyone was the consistency of the streak. No variation, no blur, as if the object maintained perfect stability at impossible speed. One image, frame number TG0283, showed a distinct emerald flash illuminating a portion of the upper atmosphere, a glow that should have dissipated instantly, yet persisted for nearly 12 seconds. Amateur analysts reprocessed the data and found signs of ionization trails stretching miles across the Martian exosphere. It wasn't just passing by, it was interacting with Mars's magnetic field. Then, right as new data was expected, the NASA image servers went offline. For the first time in decades, every Mars orbiter went silent at once. NASA called it a coincidence, a side effect of a temporary government funding lapse. But the silence felt deliberate. During the blackout, scientists from multiple universities reported being locked out of their shared Mars data portals. Requests to download telemetry logs returned restricted access. Yet ESA's servers, which remained online, continued to receive faint relay signals from the same Mars orbiters. It wasn't that the spacecraft had gone dark. It was that their public channels had been cut. Then a strange detail surfaced. Internal logs from ESA's Mars Express showed timestamps for images captured just minutes after NASA's servers went offline. Those images, though heavily compressed, revealed something astonishing. 3I Atlas was surrounded by a vast halo of diffuse gas, shaped not like a tail, but like a perfect sphere. The halo's brightness fluctuated rhythmically every 22 seconds, like a heartbeat. That timing mirrored electromagnetic anomalies detected weeks earlier by deep space receivers during the comet's approach. Whatever this was, it wasn't random. It was pulsing, controlled, deliberate, and every 22 seconds, it sent out a wave of radiation strong enough to disrupt Mars' upper ionosphere and perhaps the communication systems of the spacecraft watching it. As the first analyses resumed, a troubling consensus emerged. 3I Atlas was unlike any interstellar body ever recorded. Its mass, estimated from trajectory data, was enormous. Over 33 billion tons with a nucleus roughly 5 kilometers wide. And yet, despite its massive size, it showed almost no gravitational drift. Its course through the solar system remained perfectly smooth, unperturbed even by the sun's pull or the jets of outgassing usually seen in active comets. The ratio between its size and activity made no sense. Normal comets lose mass rapidly as they heat up, producing chaotic tails. But 3I Atlas stayed eerily stable. Its glow wasn't the reflection of sunlight, but self-generated emissions from ionized nickel, an element that shouldn't dominate in any natural comet nucleus. The absence of iron in its composition, combined with the faint electromagnetic pulse detected from Mars orbit, led several scientists, including Harvard's Avi Loeb, to propose something that NASA refused to comment on: the possibility that 3I Atlas was not a rock, but a constructed object. While the debate over the object's nature escalated, another theory began circulating, one even stranger than the idea of alien technology. Dr. Suzanne Feiner, an astrophysicist, known for her simulations of early star systems, suggested that 3I Atlas might be part of a natural cosmic process, a planetary seed ejected from a long-dead solar system billions of years ago. In her model, large interstellar bodies like this could serve as ready-made planetary cores, carrying the mass and materials necessary to trigger planet formation in young star systems. When such a body passes through a protoplanetary disk, it attracts gas and dust, accelerating the birth of a new world. Finer's calculations revealed that 3I Atlas's density, structure, and chemical makeup perfectly matched this hypothesis. But skeptics pointed out that the object's perfect geometry, its harmonic light pulses, and its mysterious stability were far too precise to be explained by natural physics alone. As leaked data from the Mars Express orbiter spread across encrypted forums showing symmetrical plasma arcs around the object, the question changed entirely. It was no longer, what is 3I Atlas? It became, who built it? Even with NASA's official servers locked down, the data was already out. Amateur astronomers, independent researchers, and private observatories across Europe and Asia began noticing the same anomaly, a faint rhythmic interference pattern embedded within Mars's radio transmissions. The signal repeated every 22 seconds, a familiar pulse linked to 3I Atlas since its arrival in the solar system. But now the rhythm had evolved. The pulse contained microfluctuations, tiny harmonic shifts that, when plotted visually, formed a geometric shape, a tri-spiral. The same tri-spiral design had appeared in the leaked plasma images from the Mars Express orbiter, glowing faintly in the ionized halo surrounding the object. For those who studied the data closely, it was unmistakable. The object wasn't simply radiating light, it was encoding information in frequency and time, like a transmission hidden within a heartbeat. Several researchers attempted to decode it, and one pattern kept resurfacing, a near-perfect match to the 1420 MHz hydrogen line, the universal frequency used in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. The object wasn't broadcasting random cosmic noise, it was speaking in the language of life itself. 3 days after NASA's silence began, a single high-resolution frame surfaced on an encrypted Russian forum. Its metadata traced back to a secure ESA server, timestamped just hours before the global data lockout. The image showed the Martian limb faintly illuminated by sunlight, with 3I Atlas cutting across the horizon, not as a diffuse blur, but as a sharply defined structure. Its core appeared hexagonal, each edge radiating fine filaments of light that curved outward before vanishing into darkness. Even more shocking was what lay below, a perfectly circular patch of green luminescence stretching across Mars's upper atmosphere. The glow formed a symmetrical ring directly beneath the object's trajectory. Atmospheric physicists couldn't explain it. No natural ionization process could create such uniform geometry. The image spread quickly across dark web archives before being erased by automated takedown systems. Those who saw it described one disturbing detail that never appeared in the reposts: a faint reflection on the object's surface that resembled a network of hexagonal panels, like tiles on a massive structure built for a purpose no one could name. By the end of the week, the 22-second pulse abruptly changed. The rhythm slowed, then fractured, splitting into 3 distinct frequencies, each corresponding to one of Mars' orbiters still active. The pattern suggested that 3I Atlas wasn't just emitting energy. It was interacting with the spacecraft themselves, manipulating their transmissions as though testing communication protocols. Engineers within ESA noticed their data packets being delayed by consistent intervals, exactly 142 milliseconds apart, a timing too precise to be coincidence. When those intervals were mapped onto a graph, they formed a wave pattern resembling a compressed audio signal. After filtering and conversion, the result produced a low, haunting hum that seemed to modulate with each rotation of Mars. Experts dismissed it as electromagnetic feedback. But a few scientists noticed something horrifying. The frequency of that hum wasn't random. It matched the Schumann resonance of Earth, the electromagnetic heartbeat of our own planet. Whatever 3I Atlas was doing near Mars, its effects were now being mirrored across interplanetary space. The object wasn't just active, it was synchronizing.